Hello and welcome to the podcast by Astitva Prakashan. Today we have Miss Divya Mahobia, a fantasy debut author who seamlessly blends intellect with imagination. Hello and welcome, ma'am.
Hello.
So, first of all, I would like to congratulate you on the release of the book. Many, many congratulations.
Thank you so much.
Ma'am, what are the reviews? What are the reviews your families, friends, and the readers are giving?
When my book got published, my mom and dad they were so happy for me. And when I sent my book to my friends, and after they read it, they found my book really interesting, and they are very excited about the next part of my book.
Okay. So, ma'am, could you explain us the overall concept of the book in simple words?
Emma Faraday and the Shadow Zone is a fantasy story about a young girl named Emma who discovers she has magical powers. She goes to a secret school called Arcane Academy, where students learn to control powerful elements like fire, water, and spirit. But dark forces are rising, and Emma must face dangerous enemies, uncover hidden secrets, and find the strength to protect the people she loves. So it's a story full of magic, friendship, mystery, and courage.
Absolutely, ma'am. Ma'am, I just want to know what inspired you to write this book, particularly this genre.
Uh, I always wanted to write a book ever since I watched Harry Potter movies as a kid. So the magical world fascinated me. But back then, when I was younger, my English wasn't very strong, and I have no idea how to even begin writing. So I carried that dream silently for years. It wasn't until I was doing my master that something changed. I have a friend named Neha who used to write poems. So one day she was writing something in front of me, and in that moment, it just hit me that all this time I had been underestimating myself. So if she could write, why couldn't I? So I gave it a try, wrote something small, and showed it to her. So when she read it, she was like, "This is so good. Why don't you write books or something?" So that one moment of encouragement gave me the confidence that I needed, and that's how I began writing Emma Faraday and the Shadows Dawn by finally believing in myself.
Absolutely, ma'am. So, ma'am, this story, was it there in your mind for a long period of time or it just popped out?
No, it just popped out when I thought of writing something.
Okay. And I just want to know about the title, as it is so different from the other fantasy books. I just want to know about the story behind it as well.
Actually, the title Emma Faraday and the Shadow Zone came to me as a reflection of both the protagonist's journey and the thematic core of the story. Emma Faraday grounds the title in the personal. It's her story, her growth, her challenges. And the Shadow Zone is more symbolic. It suggests a new beginning emerging from darkness. So I wanted the title to evoke mystery, transformation, and the idea that even in the presence of shadows, fear, loss, or evil, there's always the promise of light. It hints at a deeper magical conflict while keeping the emotional journey at the center.
Okay, ma'am. So, ma'am, as you are from an economic background, how did it influence your approach?
Background in economics actually helped me more than I expected. It taught me how systems work, how power, resources, and decisions impact people on a larger scale. So, when I was building the world in Emma Faraday and the Shadows Dawn, I naturally thought about things like how the magical society functions, who controls what kind of rules or hierarchies exist, and how conflicts affect different groups. It added a depth and realism to the fantasy element because even in magical worlds, logic and structure matter. So, economics helped me understand not just what a world looks like, but how it works.
Absolutely, ma'am. So, ma'am, I just want to know what authors and what books influenced you or you helped you to write this story. Aside from Harry
Uh,
Potter, we do know Harry Potter played a really great role into it.
actually, three books I often recommend. I actually don't read much books, so I've read Harry Potter, obviously, and then there is a book, Will You Still Love Me by Ravinder Singh, and obviously the Mahabharata by Devdutt Patnaik. So each of them
Okay.
impacted me in a different way. Harry Potter sparked my imagination and introduced me to the magic of storytelling. Will You Still Love Me touched me emotionally. It's simple, heartfelt, and relatable. I think anyone could read it. Its language is so simple. And the Mahabharata by Devnath Patnaik gave me a fresh perspective on mythology with modern insights. So these books show the range of emotions, ideas, and creativity that inspire my own writing.
Absolutely, ma'am. So, ma'am, how did mythology and folklore played a role in shaping your storyline?
Mythology and folklore played a huge role in shaping the magical world of Emma Faraday and the Shadows Dawn. I've always been fascinated by the timeless wisdom and the mystery hidden in ancient stories. The idea of powerful forces, elemental balance, and more dilemmas. While the story is original, I drew inspiration from the way mythology blends the supernatural with real human emotions. It helped me ground the fantasy element in something that feels familiar yet otherworldly. I wanted my world to have the same sense of depth where magic isn't just about spells but also about history, belief, and consequences.
Okay, okay. Sure, ma'am. So, ma'am, how did you build a so strong and character like Emma?
Actually, Emma's character arc was built around the idea of quiet strength, someone who doesn't start out as the most confident or bold, but who grows through pain, discovery, and resilience. I wanted her to reflect the inner battles we often fight with fear, loss, and self-doubt, especially because spirit magic is in my world is deeply connected to emotions and memories. Developing Emma meant slowly peeling back her layers from being unsure of her place at Arcane Academy to realizing the weight of her powers and her role in the greater conflict. So her journey is about finding strength, not just in magic, but in empathy, grief, and the courage to stand up with the people you matter and the things that matter most to you.
Absolutely. So, ma'am, while writing, do you have a ritual to go into your creative world, or is there a time, a specific time you used to just say that, okay, this time is for writing, or something like that?
No, there's nothing like that. But for me, the writing process has a very magical, few messy and magical stages. It starts with an idea. Sometimes it's just a single scene, a character, or even a line of dialogue, and it comes anytime you. There's no fixed time to have something in your mind. It can come anytime while you're sleeping, while you're eating. So then I move. After that, when idea come into my mind, I move into planning, where I outline the plot and build the world and characters. After that comes the actual writing, which is equal parts excitement and self-doubt. I don't wait for the perfect mood. I try to stay consistent and write even when it's tough. So once the draft is done, I go through the rounds of editing, fixing plot holes, improving character arcs, and polishing the language. So it's a roller coaster of emotions.
Absolutely, ma'am. So, ma'am, have been there a moment when you were stuck or really demotivated, like you cannot find new ideas to how to complete or go ahead with the book? Have you been there, and how did you overcome it?
Actually, yes. When I started writing Emma Faraday and the Shadows Dawn, so I completed the book. Then I showed it to my friend, and it was, I think, around 20,000 or 25,000 words. And then my friend told me it's a story book, not a novel. So I wanted to write novel, so I have to start again. So I just throw that whole
Okay.
story into the dustbin, and I have to write again. So I started again the second time, and it was very, very, very demotivating because I have to start again. So then I kind of motivated myself. My friends motivated me, and that's how I completed the second book.
Okay, ma'am. Ma'am, can you tell us more about Amulet and Anethar?
Okay, Amulet of Ether is one of the most powerful artifacts in the world of Amafarad and the Shadow Stone. It was created by the five founders of Arcane Academy, each a master of one element, to symbolize the unity and balance among the elements. So, over time, the amulet became a source of incredible power, capable of amplifying magic beyond normal limits. But with great power comes great danger. So in this story, it becomes the key to both salvation and destruction, depending on who controls it. So its importance isn't just magical; it represents the possibility of harmony in a world divided by elemental boundaries. And Emma's connection to it reveals deeper truths about her identity and destiny.
Okay. Ma'am, the concept of mastering one element per student is fascinating. How did you come with such an idea?
The idea of each student mastering one element came from the belief that true strength comes from depth, not just variety. I actually wanted magic to feel personal, like a deep bond between the caster and their element. It also reflects real life in a way. We all have strengths, but we cannot master everything, right? And that's okay. So, limiting each student to one element also created natural tension and complexity. They have to work together, rely on each other, and accept the limitations. It makes the journey more meaningful, especially when power isn't just about what you can do alone, but how you grow with others.
Absolutely. Ma'am, I just want to know what was the toughest part of writing this book and how did you overcome it?
The toughest part was, I think, it's publishing. Publishing was the toughest part for me because when I wanted to publish my book in India, it took a lot of time uh, because my publishing journey was a mix of excitement, anxiety, and a lot of learning. Since it was my first book, everything was new to me from editing to professionally understanding cover design, formatting, and marketing. So there were moments I doubted myself, but also moments where I felt incredibly proud. So it took a lot of time for me to publish it in India, but in other countries, it got published real quick. So all my struggle was in India. So that was the most toughest part for me.
Okay. So, ma'am, could you say about what was the toughest part, like the editing or drafting or the final touches?
As I said, publishing was the toughest part for me. But seeing my name on the cover page for the first time was so real. It wasn't always easy, but it taught me patience, resilience, and the importance of believing in your story. So, in the end, holding the finished book in my hands made it all worth it.
Absolutely. And what was the best part of your book while writing? You just knew that, oh my God, this is the favorite part, and you enjoyed and you were excited to write about it.
My favorite part of the writing process is definitely drafting. That is when I feel the most free. It's just me and the story, no pressure, no rules. I love watching the character come to life on the page and discovering unexpected plot twists as I go. So it's like watching a movie unfold in my head and racing to capture it all in words. Editing and final touches are important, of course, but drafting is where the real magic happens.
Absolutely, ma'am. So, ma'am, was there a moment when you yourself were surprised while writing, or you discovered something new about you or about anything you want to share?
I don't think so. There was a moment like that because I've already planned the whole draft in my mind. So I already knew that what's going to happen in the story.
Okay, ma'am. So, ma'am, I just want to know about your favorite author. Any three authors those who are your favorite?
I think I've already named them J.K. Rowling, Ravinder Singh, and Devdutt Pattanayak.
Okay, ma'am. So, ma'am, I want to know about your publishing journey. How was it
It
in
was a
India
really, yeah,
with Astitva Prakashan?
actually it took a long time to find Astitva Prakashan. So it was a really tough journey, but I was really glad that I found you and it was worth it.
Okay, ma'am. And ma'am, what's your next plan? Yes, we are having a sequel of this, we know. And else than this, any other projects you are working or you're excited for?
I'm not working on any other project, but in the next installment of Emma Faraday and the Shadows Dawn, readers can expect the stakes to rise sharply. Emma will uncover chilling truths about her connection to Spirit Wind, and the Tenebrous cult true goal will finally begin to unfold. A new darkness is brewing, one that threatens not just the Arcane Academy but the balance of entire elemental world.
Okay, ma'am. So it was really great having you here and knowing about your journey and your book. It was really inspiring, and it's a pleasure to have you here. And I really hope to have you here again with us. And I'm looking
Thank you
forward
so
to it.
much. Thank you so
Yeah.
much for having me.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Yeah. Have a good day.